Hey, everybody, welcome back to Off Mic Comedy. Tonight's show is entitled Crowd Work, the virtual preview show with Dan Vetrano. Please take a moment if you have any personal, like electronic devices around you that could distract you during the performance, shut those off. And now give it up for the cast of Crowd Work. Here they come. Hey, and now coming to the stage, here comes, you know him, you love him, you know him from his show Good, Get Work. It's Dan Vetrano.
Hello, how are you? Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this really cool, kind of weird, kind of funky, kind of gay preview class for crowd work. We're going to be doing some fun things, sort of like a secret comedy show. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Let me throw it over to Christine to do the up top announcements. Hi, Christine Olivas.
Hello. I'm so glad everyone could join. This is super awesome and intimate. We're all just here. We're not streaming this anywhere. So this is a preview class of a 4-week workshop that Dan is teaching as part of Off Mic Comedy School. I think some of you know us and that's why you're here. Some of you just found us on Facebook or social media, which is fantastic. And we're really excited to have you. Just so you know, before we get started, the class is on Friday afternoons. In the fall, we're also probably going to add a second class because there's been a lot of interest. It is $155 for 4 weeks plus a class show where you get to perform. We'll be streaming it. We'll have all the folks on watching on the internet. So, and there's also a 10% off code for everyone who's here tonight, which is awesome. So you do the math, that's like what, $130 to get to do what you're going to do tonight in 4 weeks and then do a show to the public that'll be marketed and everything. So I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end, but super excited. We have a lot of people from different places on. And yeah, I'll turn it back over to Dan. We have a bunch of comics, exercises. It's going to be super fun and interactive. So thanks for joining. And if you haven't followed us on social media yet, please do.
Hell yeah, follow, link, like, subscribe. Thank you so much, Christine. So yeah, just a couple of things about this class before we get into it, into this preview. Like I said, this is part preview, part comedy show. We have some comedians that are going to do some sets just for your viewing pleasure. And then we're going to do some fun interactive things. It's designed to give you a taste, a little niblet of what the class is like. What we're doing today in this preview is literally just a third of what the first class is. So, you know, I don't have much time. I'm trying to jam pack as much as I can into this little thing, but it's hopefully going to give you an idea of how these crowd work classes work virtually. This is a class I taught at Good Comedy. I've adapted it for the virtual Zoom world. It's been reviewed and code-reviewed by Good Comedy. Christine took the class and enjoyed it herself. So now I'm teaching it for Off Mic and I'm very excited. Basically what we do in the class is we're exploring and becoming comfortable with the many different aspects of successful audience interaction. So we're going to focus on being sharp. We are going to work on observation and listening skills, and we'll run exercises that enhance onstage confidence and timing and improvisation. Crowd work essentially is a lot like improv. You can basically think of it like improv, but your scene partner isn't funny. So you have to do all of the work. So we're going to work on what that is like. That's the whole class. Again, I'm going to try and do as much of that as I can in this little preview. Just keeping in mind, this is a little snippet. Each class of the full thing does reiterate listening and assessing and timing and quick thinking. And in the last class, ooh, I hear somebody smoke detector going off. Okay, one person's on fire. Right. In the last class of the actual full classes that we're doing, they specifically will focus on heckling. So today we may or may not get to heckling. Let's see, we'll find out. So again, you know, because it's a preview, this is a preview for you guys to see what this is like. It's also a preview for me to get used to the feel of teaching virtual comedy, teaching off crowd work over a laptop, which I've never done, but I've studied a lot and I'm excited. So we are going to establish an order. We have 3 to 4 exercises that we're going to do with everybody's here. I would like to quickly just get to know everybody's name and pronouns. Please say nothing else about yourself. But I am seeing some cool people here, so I'm just going to say hi back, tell me how to pronounce your name and your pronouns. And, you know, you can put your fun spin on it. 1 to 2 words max. Okay, we have Corey Herrera. Corey? Okay. Might not have that person here. How about
Corey's here.
Oh,
Corey, unmute yourself and say hi.
Corey, if you are watching this.
All right, it's really loud here in New York. This is not the ideal place, but I wanted to see you do your thing and learn some things.
Awesome, thank you. And what are your pronouns, Corey?
Hell yeah. Oh, Drew's here too. You can't see, we're trying to be responsible, but I'm smoking a cigarette like an ass, so sorry. Feel free to fucking tear me apart.
You're good, absolutely. No roasting here. This is roast free. So what are your pronouns? What are your pronouns? That's all I want to know.
He and he, I think.
Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you. All right.
Hey, man, this is Corey. I just got unmuted.
Hi, Corey. How are you?
Good, good. He, him, his.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Dwayne Kane, are you here?
Yeah, he said he's still joining. I just gave him the password, so he'll be on in a second.
Okay, no worries. And so we have David Habel. Hi, David.
Let's see, David, I'll unmute you now. Go ahead. You can unmute.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Awesome. And what are your pronouns, David?
He or them.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Awesome. We'll come back to you. Let's move on to Will Gardner. Hi, Will. How's it going?
Will, you can go ahead and unmute.
It's going well. My pronouns he.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Will. We'll see you in a bit. Hi, Dave Scott. Dave Scott, hello. How's it going?
Go ahead and unmute.
Go ahead. I'm Dave Scott, and I'm he, his, and him.
Awesome, Dave. Thank you. Love the energy. See you in a bit. And next we have Tina Notaro. Tina, or is that?
Got it. Tina, she.
Okay, gotcha. Are you Tina Marie or?
Yeah, that's actually sometimes I go by that, but yeah, that's Notaro's my last name. You got it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so Notaro, just because I had 2 different. Awesome. Thank you so much. I will see you in a moment. And just moving along, we have Mike Germano. Hi, Mike. What's going on?
Hey, everybody.
Howdy.
And Mike, you use he, him pronouns, right?
Yep.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much. Perfect. So I think we have everyone. Oh, and Danny Rydell. Danny Rydell is here. Hi, Danny.
Hi. Hey, guys. I'm Danny Rydell, she, her.
Nice to see you again, Danny. Okay, so there's some really funny people here. These are going to be some silly, cool exercises that I think we'll have so much fun doing. Before we get into them, we do have a couple of stand-up comedians. Now, before I bring up the first stand-up comedian to do a set, we are going to post a order in the group chat. So that'll just let you know when it's your turn to go during the exercises. So just be aware of where your name is, because once we get to the first exercise, we're going to try and just, go through. So be ready to unmute and speak, once it's one before you. So we'll post that in the group chat. And are you guys ready to meet your first stand-up comedian?
Woo!
Hell yes. I love virtual applause. There's always 2 woos and a clap. So your first comedian coming to the virtual stage, coming to you from the most beautiful backyard in all of town. And you can also feel free to, unmute while you're watching, so you can laugh, as Christina's saying in the group chat. Definitely would love to hear laughs. Coming to the virtual stage from the most beautiful backyard known to this Zoom, it is the wonderful Ben Kunkel. Give it up for Ben.
Woo! Woo!
Good evening, folks. I'm very excited to be here tonight with you all, even if it's virtually. Before I was remotely working, I shared a very tiny office with the HR woman at my last job, and she was sweet as pie, fantastic person. She talked all the time, just constantly. Sometimes I'd be listening, most of the time I wasn't. But she was from South Philly, and she was very South Philly, and I mean that like in the most endearing way. And the one day I remember she told me, she was like, "Oh my God, Ben, you know my 8-year-old son Sean?" And I said, "Yeah, I know Sean. You certainly talk about him." And she was like, "Oh my God, it was his birthday the other day. I bought him this video game he just had to have. It was like $75. He don't even play it. You know what he does? He goes on YouTube and he watches videos of other kids playing that $75 video game. Isn't that the stupidest thing you ever heard in your life?" And I was like, yeah, that is, it's kind of silly. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what, I shouldn't be so hard on him. Like, because like I watch videos of other people having sex and it's kind of the same thing, right? I mean, I watch them and I'm like, wow, cool. How'd they do that? Do that. Speaking of pornography, I'm in a relationship. I have a girlfriend. She's great. And I know people talk about like dating and they're like, oh, I have a certain type. I like, you know, tall, muscular guys, or I like, you know, petite blonde women. But I never really thought I had a type until I kind of analyzed my dating history. And I like girls with green eyes that I have a hard time hearing. That seems to be my last 5 girlfriends. I swear. I feel like the biggest difference between being in a relationship and being single is when I'm in a relationship, I have this like beautiful green-eyed girl next to me and I'm constantly saying things like, what? Huh? You're not putting me in a nursing home. You know? Anyone else? I know, it's right, crazy relationship. I'll tell you what, when this pandemic started, I went into quarantine with my girlfriend. So we went from seeing each other a couple days a week to being together all the time. And her apartment has a lot of light coming in the windows, and I had a hard time sleeping. She recommended, she was like, Ben, why don't you pop a Benadryl before you go to bed? You know, allergy pill. I don't know if you guys have taken it. So I started popping these Benadryls at night, and sure enough, I started sleeping really well, and it was a really positive thing because I would take these Benadryls, I would get a good night's sleep, and because of the Benadryl, she wouldn't have to drill a Ben. So everyone wins. People helping people. I'm Ben Kunkel. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, keep it going for Ben Kunkel.
Delicious.
Listen to that thunderous applause. Driller Ben, truly wonderful. Loved it. Great job. Now, Ben, you took my class actually some time ago. So, but you know, I wanted to ask you. I mean, this could be before then, after then, whatever. Do you have any experiences with like audience interaction or hecklers that you wanted to share?
You know, when I started doing stand-up, like I had done like improv and sketch, and I realized when I started doing stand-up that it's kind of intimidating, and you don't have anyone up there to kind of play off of. So I got really into just writing and saying like, I'm gonna do these 3 jokes and then I'm gonna get the heck off. So I really focused on that. But what your class gave me was the ability to have fun with the crowd. I was too intimidated to do it before, but since I've taken your class, I've been able to kind of engage and kind of ask the crowd questions and interject a little bit more. And it's really made me a lot more confident.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I mean, I cannot wait to see you perform live again. But you know, virtually, those were just wonderful jokes. And I'm glad that you can join us. And perhaps you'll join us later in the evening. Who knows?
Perhaps so.
Who knows? Okay. So we're just gonna go right into our first activity. This is the first time I will have ever taught this exercise virtually. So I'm going to put the order here into the group chat. And I think that should be everyone. I don't think that there's any repeats. Perfect. So if everybody who is a student can just check and make sure that your name is in that group chat, and just give me a thumbs up if you are ready to hop in. Looks good. Did I get everyone? Anybody that's in that message that does not want to participate? Okay. Good.
Dan, just so you know, Dwayne is still joining, so maybe move Dwayne a tiny bit down the list, but other than that, we're good to go.
Gotcha. Okay.
I might not be able to. I might have to run back up here.
So
Okay.
Tom should go first, is what
But I'll
Emily.
be watching. Oh, okay. Well, either way.
Tom should go first. Let's do it.
Okay. I sent a new one without. Okay. Never mind then. Just ignore the order.
Don't have to. That's fine.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So then everybody pay attention to. I'm just sending the new one right here. And now, Tom, you are at the top of the list. There you go. Oh, yes, perfect. That looks terrible. All right, forget it. Okay, so anyway, I'll just go through the grid and call on y'all. So this first exercise, I'm going to share my screen here. You can see that's the order, and here is my slideshow. This one is called Complement Generator. And we're just going to present. Can everybody see this pretty well?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So I will just call on you. You don't have to worry about the order in the group. I think it's easier if I just call on you. And so here's how it's going to work. Is the first thing that I like to teach in my class is that crowd work is about positivity. A lot of people think that crowd work happens when you have a negative situation and you need to react to it. But actually, in my experience of 10 plus years doing it, crowd work should be mainly positive. As a quick example, one time I was doing a show and I told the audience I'm gay as a setup to a joke, which is true. I am indeed gay. And so I said I'm gay, and some guy said, "Oh boy, here we go," in the crowd. Now I could have said, you know, that's really fucked up. I could have yelled at him and I would have been right, but I'm not being professional because I'm not keeping the audience laughing. So even though the audience would have agreed with me, it wouldn't have been funny. And so we need to make sure to keep things funny, even if it's a little bit of a weird situation, to keep things light. Positivity helps in that situation. Sarcasm often helps. So instead of saying, "Oh, that's really fucked up," I would say something like, "Oh, really? You're upset about that? Okay, where are you from? Let me answer that. Delco." Anyway, moving on. So try and think of quick, funny things. We're going to do this first round. I'm going to show you a picture. It might be a celebrity or a place or a concept. Just say something positive as if this person is in the audience, and don't base it on something that you actually know about this person. Just what you're seeing. Imagine they're in the audience and you want to say something light and funny and positive. Danny, let's go ahead and let's start with you. Are you ready to hop in here?
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, just say whatever comes to mind. Keep it quick, light, funny, positive, and I'll just give you feedback as we go through these. All right, here we go. Go ahead. She's in the audience.
All right, Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, why don't you take care of our?
Okay, funny, but I would say that would be a good reaction if she was already being a really big problem. For this first round, we're just keeping things like as if they're not even heckling us. So positive, like, "Oh my God, your skin is so bright, it's blinding me. I need you to leave because I'm blind. Your skin is so bright." So things that are very positive. Try to say one more.
The school system needs you.
Yes. Much better. Perfect. Exactly. See, I can tell you're being sarcastic, but it's funny. All right, let's move right over to, oh, sorry, Tom Crawley is supposed to go first. Tom, you're next.
Unmute yourself, Tom.
Thank you. So is it supposed to be like a positive dig, or is it supposed to be just positive?
Try and keep it as positive as possible because we're going to move on to sarcasm very shortly. So see if you can say something without being a dig and you don't know who this person is.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like I remember my first beer is no, that's not good either. I don't know. I'm not a positive, but let's try and work
It's
this
hard.
out.
It's hard. I know. See if you can do it. It's hard.
Hey, you know what? I really like your laugh. I'm glad you spoke up. This is great.
Great. Awesome. Yes, absolutely. She also looks really young, which is like a thing that people think is positive and fun. Like, oh, I'm so glad they still let people sneak into comedy shows. Okay. So absolutely. Good job. Good job. Let's move right on to, sorry, I'm missing names here. Let's move right on to Tina.
Wow, the tinsel from last Christmas has really found a new use.
That's really funny.
Positive, I don't know. I love tinsel though, so maybe that's some context.
Yes, this is a thing. This is a great thing that we're learning is that like you can say really whatever you want. If you say a lot of kind things and surround it with that, it becomes, you can really get away with a lot. So being like, oh my God, I love your outfit. It's so funny. I actually love recycling tinsel from Christmas, so this really works for me. So you can pivot to sarcastic as long as you start with a bunch of compliments. But yeah, great job. All right, let's see. Let's keep moving along. We have David Habel.
That's a very nice shade of red you're wearing this evening.
That is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, it's great because you're still being sarcastic, and it's very tough to compliment people that you already know and you think they look ridiculous without being sarcastic. But I mean, if you're trying to remove all sarcasm, you could say something nice about redheads and then turn it back to yourself. But that's fun. A great use of sarcasm. All right, let's go on to Will Gardner. Will Gardner, you're up next.
Yep. I wish you hadn't left your funnels at home. I was going to do a baking demonstration tonight.
Okay, what was the? I'm sorry.
I wish you hadn't left your funnels at home. I was going to do a baking demonstration tonight.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so while we pause on this picture of Felicity Huffman. So it's great. Yes. I mean, going back to the picture, so, I mean, if you want to be sarcastic, that would be a good approach. I would say just for this first thing where we're trying to remove sarcasm, you could say something about the like, oh, I'm glad that you decided to, this. I mean, what's something nice that you would say if you were actually talking to this person in person and you didn't know them? Like actually having a conversation in person, what would you say?
I'd probably compliment her gloves.
Okay.
They remind me of the old Hot Topic.
See, there you go. That's great. Where it's like, that is even less sarcastic because it reminds you of something, but it's like, oh, I love your gloves. They remind me of the old Hot Topic. Malls are closing, so this is perfect. So, yeah, great job. You could even think of something that you would really say to a person and then let it go from there. Let's see who else we got. Moving on is David. Let's see. Who else is not gone?
So I think we have Dave Scott,
Right.
Corey, and Mike Germano, right? Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Corey, why don't you go ahead and take this one?
You look like you're fresh out of the pound, bro.
Good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you can compliment, what would you say to this person if you actually met him in person? Like first.
Like, bro,
impression?
you look like very clean. Like you should be the model for Suave, dude. That shine on your scalp, I'm envious of that.
Yes.
Scalp.
That's perfect. See, your second instinct was better than the first. I thought that's better because you're engaging with somebody, you're keeping it positive. You're saying, wow, you look so clean and just like Mr. Clean, like, and then you can go a lot of different places from there. And it just felt like nicer and more positive. And also, yeah, he's probably been compared to Mr. Clean. Everybody in the audience could see his bald, shimmering head. So good job. You said we have Mike Germano. Mike Germano, why don't you go ahead and take this one?
Hey, you look like you're here for business and for pleasure.
That's good, actually. It's perfect. Yes, because it's like somebody at a comedy show dressed up like this, like with a very assertive look on their face. You could absolutely address why they might be standing out in a crowd like this. It's a very stern look, too. It's like, oh, I love it. I'm going to have to win you over, clearly. So perfect. Good. Great job. And then who was the last one that we have?
Last we have Dave Scott.
Dave Scott.
They asked me to put together that sign, but I couldn't, so I can't go into IKEA anymore.
Okay, so this one's a bit of a curveball, Dave. Basically, you are looking at this as a concept. What is something nice that you would say about IKEA?
Only IKEA could put that sign together.
Perfect.
Hell yeah, that's
Yes.
good.
See, once you think of the way that you can phrase it nicely, it just naturally comes out shorter. That's why that second time, it was just such a shorter, more concise thing, because you were trying to genuinely be nice in a sarcastic way. I think we're ready to move on to just straight sarcasm. So I'm going to go to the second round. And so now this time, I know a lot of you were inclined to do sarcasm the first time. Lean into this, but like I said, keep it light. So if you want to be sarcastic about somebody, you know, like you still want to say a bunch of nice things like, oh, I love it. I love that you're not paying attention. I actually love to work for it. So that's great. This works for me. Isn't that wonderful? So say a lot of nice things like, oh, you look wonderful. I love your hair. I mean, it's not that people do that with their hair anymore, but that's great for you. You know, just really give a lot of nice little things. And then you could slip in the sarcasm in the middle, like the old compliment sandwich. So try that on these. Okay, why don't we go ahead and we'll do the same order. Does everybody remember what order they went in?
Roughly, I can help out. I think
Kind of.
Danny was first, and if I don't know,
Okay.
I don't think Tom's still on. but
Christine, if you want to call the names, because they're just not showing up on my screen.
Yeah, I can do that. Actually, Tom, why don't you go first, and then we'll do Danny. Tom, ready? Same thing,
Okay.
but with a little sarcasm.
All right, so I'll go off what I said before. Yeah, I really love your laugh. I'm excited you came out. I didn't think they made quadruple doors. I don't know. That's a bigger person joke. That's not very funny.
Yeah, so are you looking at the picture? Are you looking at this picture specifically?
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Oh, that's Bono. All right, I'm sorry. I missed it.
Yeah, so look at the picture and imagine that he's in the audience. Imagine there's somebody in the audience doing this this pose.
Okay. Yeah, you can put your hand down. Like the waiter will come around to you. I don't know. I really like your glasses. I don't know why you're wearing them indoors at night, but they really don't make you look like a douche. I promise.
Yes, that one was better. I would say give it even more
Nice.
compliments because he ended on they don't really make
Okay.
it still comes off a little, you know,
It's
you
too
want to
harsh.
make you just want to make people believe that you're actually being nice when in
Right,
reality you're
right.
saying a bunch of things. So yeah, you could be like, "Oh, I love your glasses, indoor glasses." That's such a weird thing that most people don't get, including me, but I love that you're doing it. So see,
Awesome.
I said all the same stuff, but I made it seem nicer somehow. That
Right.
for some reason always plays really well to a crowd, but great job. All right, Christine, who's next?
Danny.
Okay, Danny.
Oh God. Is this where Eric Cartman held his anti-ginger convention?
That's good. That's a very specific reference, which I love because stuff like that plays well to an audience. But just in the name of the exercise, try it again, say something nice, and then say that line, and then say something nice again, very sarcastically.
I bet they have a reasonably affordable ballroom. It looks like where Eric Cartman held his anti-ginger convention.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah.
For
And
all
you
your
can
needs, remember the Airport Hilton.
see, much better, much better. And yeah, and you could even just keep shoveling in nice sarcastic things like, "Oh, this is great. I love Hilton. The conference rooms are perfect for anti-ginger conventions. So, you know, someone needs you. Not me or anyone I know, but someone." Perfect. Great. Good job. Who's next?
Next, let's do Tina.
Tina.
Oh, the Marriott. Gosh, the way that they really their room service is prompt and accessible, and I've never used it. I've never stayed at a Marriott, but that's what I read in some of the 3-star reviews online anyway. But
that was great. That was all good stuff. Just shorten it. I think that if you could say it more quickly in the moment, if there's a person in the audience, oh, this Marriott, I'm so glad Marriott is here. They're great. The room service is quick, accessible. I never used it, never would because it's too expensive. But I hear everybody loves it in the 3-star reviews. Keep doing you, you know, just zip through them. But you said all great stuff. Just, you know, give it a little bit of snappiness.
Let's go to Corey next.
Corey.
Temple University, huh? I love Jewish people.
That's great. I think.
But does it have to be open on Friday? What the hell, dude?
That's perfect. Absolutely. I love Jewish people. I don't know why you're open on Friday, but hell yeah, love you. And just ended on a compliment. See, the compliment at the end will be able to help you to pivot back into your set. So it doesn't have this weird thing. It's like, okay, nice. Cool. Well, anyway, glad you're here. So yeah, perfect. Great job. That was awesome. Who's next?
David H. You're next.
David H.
Of course it's raining. Did you think it was going to stand? No.
Just start with a compliment and something will come to you.
Oh, that's my favorite monument. It's the one that's celebrated for being wrong.
Awesome. Say what you just said again and see if you could bring it back to yourself. See if you can make it about yourself. Oh, I love this monument. It's the one that's celebrated for being wrong. Give us another line.
Oh, I love this monument. It's the one that's celebrated for being wrong. Just like me.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, one thing that we're going to practice in my class is a lot of trying to bring it back to you as quickly as possible. So it's like, oh, perfect. Yes. Somebody who's celebrated for having a defect. It's just like me and the story of me and my parents, or, you know, something like that you can get back into whatever material you have lined up. I think that definitely left a good open door for you. So yeah, good job. That's funny. Who's next?
I think next we have Will, and then last Dave Scott. So Will's next.
Oh, all right. Will Gardner, it's you. Go ahead. This guy's in the audience.
Congrats on being the tall one in the family. Sorry you're not the popular one. I know how that is.
That was perfect. You brought it back to you. You start with a compliment. You brought it back to you. I know how that is. Excellent. Great job. That's perfect. And last but not least, we have who?
Picture mom.
Yeah, I actually forgot Mike. So Mike's next, then Dave Scott's last.
Okay. Mike.
Man, I wish I could really get to know you better, but I'm from Jersey and I don't really need you, but that's cool. Other people need you.
Good job. Okay, so now try doing what you did. It started perfectly. Just try give it a more of a sarcastic edge. Because when you said, I don't really need you, you're being honest. But for the sake of this exercise, try saying that you don't need SEPTA. Try saying the sarcastic version of that. So maybe you do need SEPTA. Just reword it so it's sarcastic.
Basically like, oh man, you guys are very popular and needed, but I fucked that up. Could really use one of those here in Jersey.
Good, yeah. So like, oh, SEPTA, I'm so glad that you're here. Could really use one of those in Jersey. It would be great to wait. Be great to wait 45 minutes in a dirty subway over there, you know? Okay. Something to be like, it would be really great to insult and then, anyway, thank you so much. No, I love you, totally. Perfect, good job. Last person.
Dave Scott.
Dave Scott. All right, it's on you, Dave Scott. Go for it.
I'm sure glad to see Philadelphia Parking Authority here tonight. I, on the other hand, have no authority over anything, but it's good to see some authority here this evening.
This is actually a perfect response. That was perfect. It actually is very similar to it. One of the other exercises that we're going to do coming up, where I'm going to teach you about self-deprecation and how to empower an audience member. That is an exercise that is coming up shortly, but with that, give yourselves all a round of applause for this exercise.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just a very quick idea of one of the exercises that we're doing, trying to learn how to be sarcastic in a way that still sounds positive. When in doubt, if you're caught with saying something, just start complimenting, and usually something will come to you. It's way better to say something positive to somebody without knowing where you're going to go than to say something negative to somebody and then don't know where you go. So because then you have to dig yourself out of a hole. So great job, everybody. Loved all the riffs, and now we have another comedian set for you. Are you guys ready for that?
Woo, 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 woo.
I feel like I need to hear thunderous applause. Are you guys?
Yes. Woo.
Ow!
Kill that shit.
Hell yeah, awesome. Your next comedian coming to the virtual stage is hilarious. I believe she's coming to us from New York. I could be wrong about that. Please give it up for Claire. Claire.
Hey guys, thank you so much for hosting this, Dan and Christine. This is really cool. Yeah, I am coming from New York, city of dreams, city that never sleeps. Not really. I'm very sleepy all the time. Anyway, I just had a birthday, which was pretty cool. I turned 24, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, cocaine, probably. I'm 24. I'm like, honestly, how hard is it for you to think outside the box? It's not really, like, what do you think I want? I don't know, I had sex on my birthday, which is pretty exciting. You know, that's cool. I had sex with a garbage man. And I didn't do that on purpose, you know. It was like a coincidence that he was a garbage man. But let me tell you guys, ladies, men aren't trash. They just work with it, okay? He's pretty cool. The weird thing is, like, a lot of my friends are like, oh, you can do a lot better than a garbage man. And my current job is I hand out flyers outside of a tattoo shop. So no, I can't. A garbage man is pretty much my Prince Charming, you know. Basically anybody with a job is my Prince Charming. I'll take literally whatever. But anyway, yeah, so I had sex on my birthday. That's a gamble, you know, because one minute you're having sex on your birthday and the next minute you're sucking dick on your birthday. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to suck dick on my fucking birthday. I hate sucking dick, by the way. I don't know if any of you like it. And if you do, you're lying to yourselves. I don't know. The only reason women like sucking dick is because they think that they're good at it. And you're not. You know, let's be honest. Are we? I don't know. I don't know what that feels like. You know, I don't think I can reciprocate that perfectly. But the only reason that women think they're good at it, and I know there's some of you in the audience who are like, oh, no, she's not talking about me. I'm really good at it. No, you're not. The only reason we think we're good at it is because every time a guy is getting a blowjob, he's like, this is the best blowjob I've ever had. Because that's the one he's getting right now, okay? You know what I mean? Every time I'm hungover and I have a burrito, that's the best fucking burrito I've ever had, right? Because it's the one. I'm not eating a burrito when I'm hungover thinking about Tex-Mex I had last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know, obviously you like what you're getting right now. Basically what I'm trying to say is I've been told I'm good at sucking dick, but like, I know I'm not, because if I really was, I wouldn't be handing out flyers outside of a tattoo shop for a living. You know, I would have a way better job. I don't know if you guys have seen that thing about how NASA is doing like an all-female space crew because they're worried that people are going to have sex in outer space. Have you guys seen that? Which, first of all, that's ridiculous. Like, what's wrong with having fucking sex in outer space? Okay, like one time I had sex in a stairwell just to talk about it. All right, that's like a really good. I would totally have sex. Like, what's wrong with having sex in outer? Like, why? Oh, you're too fucking cool. You know, I don't know. And I don't know. I think that the reason why they're saying like, oh yeah, we're only having a women's team so that you don't have sex with guys in outer space. I think they're only saying that just to make men feel better. You know, like it's not like you. It's like you didn't make the astronaut team because you're not a good enough scientist. You just didn't make it because of your big penis that's super distracting. You know, these women, these scientist women, they study their entire lives. They go to school and then they go to space and they just get horny. We can't control it. And so that's why you're not invited. You know, it's kind of the same energy as like when a woman pretends she's a lesbian at a bar, you know, so guys don't hit on her, you know. By the way, we do that, guys. You know, it's like, I'm like, oh, no. It's not like, I don't have anything against you. It's just that I am not interested in your big penis. It's nothing against you. You seem like a great guy. And I can tell that by the fact that you have a cigarette behind your ear and your hand has been on my butt this whole conversation. You seem like a really fine guy. I just don't want your penis in orbit around me. All right. I think that's it for me. I hope I didn't go over.
You're good. You're good. Give it up for
All
Claire.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Great. Big penis energy. Claire, have you ever had an experience with a heckler or any interesting like audience interaction moments?
Well, okay, especially recently, yeah. So I went to this park mic. I don't know if you guys are doing like open mics in parks, but I went to this park mic and it wasn't me personally because the heckler ended up leaving, but it was this man just yelling at every single comic. And like this one kid, Bobby, went up to perform, and this heckler's like, "Yeah, Bobby, be funny, Bobby. You better be funny, Bobby." And yeah, and then Bobby was like, "Okay," and like he was doing his set, and he's like, "I'm not laughing, Bobby. I'm not laughing." And then somebody finally, like one of the comics who was up was just like, "What's your name?" And he was like, "Peter Pan." And oh boy, I'm hearing a lot of echoes. Yeah, someone was like, "What's your name?" And he said his name was Peter Pan, which obviously it wasn't. But it was like super weird. And then for the rest of them, once he left, he finally like walked away. Yeah, once he left, everybody else like had jokes prepped to do for him, and they're like, if he was still here, I would have said this insult to him.
Yeah.
That's what you're writing the whole time, and you're like, oh crap. And I knew what I would have said. I would have been like, oh, that's so cute, you were named after the bus you grew up on. Wow, I can't believe that worked here. I would have been nervous though, because I didn't know if he was homeless or not. And he was just like yelling at a park, so he could have been homeless. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you should probably find him again and tell him your joke just so he can help you workshop it.
Oh, I don't want to find him again.
Yeah.
No, I never want to see him again.
Come on, you can go after him with a bunch of index cards and be like, sorry, I just got a couple I want to run by you.
I just want to know what you think of this.
Yeah. Is that too clunky? Should I? Okay, I'll throw that one out.
He's going to be like, not funny.
Then I'll be like, okay, that one was kind of funny. Yes.
Like, all right, that one's pretty good.
Oh, Peter Pan, you told me to grow up. I get it.
It's a good one. I don't think anybody did that. People were just like, silly Peter Pan. It's so dumb. And it was like, all right. Your children's book. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, yours was great. Thank you so much for that awesome set. It was so funny.
Oh, great. Thanks.
It was awesome for sharing. So we're just going to hop right into this next little exercise rather. And so I will be able to just call on your names. Welcome to the new two people that have joined. We have Stephen and Dwayne. who are here. So we are going to go into an exercise called Dead Ends. In comedy, there are audience members that cooperate, but they're just full of what I call dead ends. Like, they're essentially like comedy quicksand, and you just sort of need to keep jumping up in order to survive because they're not giving you the answers that you want. They're not giving you anything exciting. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of those, of how that might happen. So I'm going to tell you what to ask me, and then I'll be the dead end audience member. And just in 1-2 quick beats, if you can try and jump up, get out of it to a funny conclusion. If you could make it about yourself, that would be perfect. But if you just get to a funny conclusion in 2-3 beats max, that would be great. So we'll just go in the order that my screen is here. Danny, you're first again. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, ask me where I'm from.
Where are you from?
I live here.
Me too. Do you drink excessively too?
No. No, I don't.
But we live in the same neighborhood, so I'm surrounded by people like you, and everyone wonders why.
Great, awesome. Yeah, I'd say for that last line, you could even be like, oh, really? You should move, right? Or just something, to quickly get it. When people say like, I live here to this, I always just say something like, oh, in this town or in this theater? It's kind of like a quick thing you could do, but I love the direction you went with it. I'd say just the last line, just sum it up even quicker. Perfect. Will Gardner, ask me if I'm on a date.
Hey, you on a date tonight?
Maybe, kind of.
My dad usually says I'm just resting my eyes.
Okay, so am I on the date? And I like that. That's like, is that a joke that you had in the can already, or?
I was just thinking of it the last couple minutes. I was thinking like, oh, dead audience member. Oh, when my dad would nod off on the couch when I was a kid, he would always say, I'm just resting my eyes when I bust his chops for it.
Gotcha. Okay. I would say that's good. It's really funny. The only thing is you didn't really react to me saying me being unsure if I'm on a date. So maybe before you respond, just try and think about the weird response. I'm giving a lot of weird responses here. The fact that I don't know if I'm on a date is like, what does that mean? Does that mean that I just had sex with somebody and we decided to just keep hanging out? Like, what happened? So, just like figure out, make sure to just listen to like my weird response, and then you can probably get to your joke in like 1 or 2 steps.
So I should ask instead if it's a hostage situation.
That's great. Yes. Yeah. Blink twice. Absolutely. Yep.
My dad just texted me, jerk. He heard me.
Oh my God, it comes full circle. All right, let's move right on to, yeah.
Dan, I was gonna say, but can we actually, I just want to say hi to Steven, who was able to join. Hey, Steven, where are you coming from? Pronouns, all that fun stuff.
Here.
A lot of people are from this Zoom chat, apparently.
Virginia. I'm in Virginia.
Awesome. Cool. So I was gonna say, if you feel comfortable participating, I'm sure Dan could throw some stuff at you too. Just want to make sure you get your chance.
Okay. I'm just gonna move right on to Dave Scott.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave. Okay. Why don't you ask me? I'm a talkative audience member, so you hear me talking. Ask me what I just said.
What'd you just say?
Oh, no, it was just an inside joke.
Yeah, well, you're here with a bunch of people, and they're here to hear me, but I'm sure they'd like to know what you said as well.
Okay, I mean, it was just like an inside joke where I was just like talking about like my car.
That's fair. We all are inside at the moment, so I'm pretty good at inside jokes because I'm inside also. So.
See, that last thing you said was great. I think you could have gotten to that right away. So when I said it's an inside joke, there's something wrong with that. I should not be saying inside jokes. You could have just said, oh, really? Well, I'm inside. You could have said just that one line, and that would be perfect. Also, why am I telling inside jokes when you're telling outside jokes for money, you know? So great job. Okay, Tina, why don't you ask me if I did anything fun in quarantine.
Did you do anything fun in your quarantine?
No, not really.
No, mostly just masturbating.
Perfect. Exactly what I had in mind. Just now bring it back to yourself. One more line to bring it back to yourself.
Oh yeah, mostly just masturbating, like most of us, including myself.
Like most of us, pause, including myself. Perfect. Love it. Love it. Great job. It was quick. It was funny. You brought it right back to yourself. Awesome. Let's move right over to David Habel. Ask me if I'm having a good time.
Are you having a good time?
Not really.
Well, why don't you ask me if I can help with that?
Okay, can you help with that?
No.
That was awesome. I loved that you took us on that you had a plan out, a very quick,
funny.
yeah, a very quick plan to get out of there. It was like 2 beats, so it was absolutely perfect. That's definitely one way to go with it. The other way that you could possibly go is you could be like, oh, you're not having fun? Neither am I. Let's see if anyone has cocaine. You know, just kind of bond immediately with them or something. Quick bonding, but great job. Awesome. Okay, let's move right on to Steven. Hi, Steven. Ask me if I'm having a good time.
What kind of time are you having?
I'm having a good time.
There you go. See, I didn't ask. I've been listening to your questions. I used to do collections, collect money from deadbeats. And one thing you don't want to ask is a yes or no answer question. All of your questions that you've been getting people to ask are yes or no. So I didn't ask a yes or no question. I asked, I didn't ask, are you having a good time? Because no.
Right. So these are specifically comedy dead ends.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So if somebody is talking to your show, or let's say they're clearly like in a big group of people who all work together, instead of just saying an open-ended thing, what's going on here? If you don't ask a yes or no question, then you're going to let them talk more. So if I say, what are you guys doing? What are you up to? They're going to give a long answer. But if you ask a yes or no question, then you could practice this 1-2 quick beat thing that we're doing where they answer quickly.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's like you are right in that sometimes you don't want to ask yes or no questions. I would not say that's always true, though, because if you're dealing with certain people, you want to get a quick answer out of them. If you ask an open-ended question, sometimes they give a long, drawn-out answer, and the audience can't hear it, and then you have to sum it up, and it's harder to get out of that. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Cool. Dan,
so like an example, you don't want to be like, oh, how is your current situation with your family? Then you're just going to end up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, so instead of saying, how's your current situation with their family, they're going to start talking. You want to keep the power. So you want to keep quick answers from them that you can build off of. It's almost like an improv when you get a suggestion, and it's always a 1-word or 2-word suggestion, and you play off of that. If you give them too much, then the audience is going to drain energy because they're not funny. You have to assume they are not funny. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this again. So just answer a yes or no question. So just ask me if I'm having a good time.
Are you having a good time?
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
What would make it better?
Ooh, good.
Oh.
I guess if I, started drinking more.
All right. Well, maybe one of your buddies can buy you a drink. Who wants to buy him a drink?
This is great. I like that you're using the audience to keep energy, and I can tell that you have a lot of good stage energy, even though you're not on a stage right now. One thing you could do in a similar vein is use this opportunity to find somebody who might have not good body language and be like, oh, you're having a good time. Perfect. See, there's no reason that you should have your arms crossed because he's having fun. It's like, so you can actually go into the audience and spread the energy. But I liked your stage energy. It's good. Okay, let's see. Let's move on to Mike. Hi, Mike. Mike, ask me if I have any kids.
You got any kids?
No, but maybe someday. I was thinking about it. We were actually talking about it the other day with my wife, and we were, I don't know, just going over it, and we were kind of, you know.
Yeah, kids are great, man. They're like cats, you know. They got 9 lives, and if they fall, they always land on their feet.
I like that. That's a fun joke, but be sure to listen to what's happening with me. I was giving you a long story, right? I was giving you this long, weird story. You asked me a yes or no question, and I was still giving you a long story. So being in the moment, you might want to address that. So I'm going to do it again and just see if you could address that. Like, oh yeah, maybe I'll have kids someday. I don't know. Not sure, you know.
Maybe. Definitely maybe.
It's good. I would say even just talk about the because if somebody starts talking too long, you just kind of want to pull the microphone away and be like, whoa, all right, I didn't need your life story. Save that for the kids you might have, all right? Something like that. So, just be sure to address the thing that I'm doing wrong as an audience member. Cool. Great job. Next up, we have Corey Herrera.
Yo.
Hey, okay. Why don't you ask me what my name is?
Hey, what's your name, man?
I'd rather not say.
Is that better?
I think we're hearing some echoes. I said I'd rather not say.
Really? You can make me work for it or what? Must be something really long or something really crazy. Come on, what's your name, man?
Okay, fine. It's James.
Okay, yeah, it's not that interesting. Sorry. Moving on. You know, listen to that suspense for a fucking name like James. Come on, dude. Some Greek god or some shit, right? But thanks for that. Good to see you, James.
Perfect. See, and you're keeping the positivity at the end, which is exactly what I love. Perfect. So yes, names are kind of weird because not everybody, names can be a personal thing. Some people chose their name. Some people don't like to talk about them. But in this sense, when somebody's not telling you their name, you can make a joke about how secret they're being. And you kind of did that. So that was really funny. Good job. That is it for the exercise. Thank you. Give yourself a hand. Hands. I think so. It's looking like I am going to have to cut one of the exercises for the sake of time, just showing you that this preview, this crowd work preview, is only such a small part of what the first class is, and there's 4 full classes. So I hope that some of you can join me, and with that, we're going to bring up your final comedian for the evening. Are you pumped? Yeah. Hell yes, awesome. She's lovely, delightful, so funny, awesome, great. Please keep it going, get it going, and keep it going for Ellie Summerling.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan. Oh, you're such a fucking delight. Oh, breaking my heart with all those compliments. Oh my God. Rejuvenating it. How are you guys? Did you guys enjoy your summer? It's done now. Summer's gone. I'm fucking devastated. Summer's the only time I get my pussy eaten. It's by mosquitoes, but we don't need to. Devastated. I do date, but I dress for the job that I want, which is PTA mom. That's the dating that I'm going for. I'm trying to achieve my dream of motherhood through the medium of Tinder. It's going better than you'd expect. It's not going great. It's not going great though. It's a little bit of a hot mess. But I was seeing this one guy from Tinder, and we went on a date, and then we went back to do the things, We're doing the things, and he started out conservative, but then he's just throwing whatever he can think of at the wall. Like anything that comes into his mind, he's like, "Can we do this?" I was like, "Yeah, buddy, put it in." Like, he was like, "Damn, you're freaky." I was like, I am just learning on the job, bro. Like, I don't put it out much. I'm going to leave here. This is an internship. I'm going to leave and write down my notes when I get in the car. He thought I was the freakiest super freak. He thought I was a super freak. And then I suggested one thing, and he was like, damn, you are freaky. I was like, hey, man, this is as much a surprise to me as it is to you, okay? Very upset. I was very upset about the whole thing. But Tinder's like Uber Eats my ass, you know? You scroll through the menus. You try to find one that doesn't come with a side of cat in a baby backpack. What the fuck is that? What? Just let the fucking cat walk. I don't understand. I don't understand. I did match with someone on Tinder who was the hottest man I have ever seen in my entire, like, if you can imagine Michelangelo's David, but if he hit 35 and got really into hiking, that's the level of like that we are talking about. Okay, I've never seen my face when I did that before. Oh my god, he was so hot though. He was so gorgeous. Like, he makes me want to eat my own teeth. That's how hot. Like, I don't even know what that means, but it's how it makes me feel. You know, like, I was like, oh my god, I have to shoot my shot. I have to. So I went ahead and I wrote him this message. I was like, hey, sexy, because that is how you start a Tinder message. Hey, sexy. That's a real nice shirt you're wearing in the second photograph. Do you have a picture in the matching bottoms? Sexy shit, right? There was no shirt in the second photograph. I sexually harassed that man is what I did. I feel bad, but I'm also like, I'm like a little truffle pig. I'm just rooting around for dick, you know? I'm just trying to, you know, the really enthusiastic truffle pigs are not allowed to be real life, like, professional truffle pigs. They're like, no, piggy. You're thirsty, go take a cold shower. Calm the fuck down. Oh, I love dick pics though. Don't judge me. I can feel the judgment. Because women are always like, ew, that's gross. And men are always like, she just wants to see how big it is. No. I don't give a shit how big your dick is. What I want to see is the environment in which you are comfortable taking a picture of your junk. Are you at the office? Cool. Who the fuck hired you? What was their problem? No, unacceptable. You're in your home? Excellent. You're in your bedroom? Even better. But can I ask you why, oh, why is there a brown stain on your duvet? What is that? And why is there a dildo inside a flashlight on your bureau? I understand it is a very clever storage solution. Put it away. Away. And then you want to see, you know, the health of the dick. You know, is it straight? Is it curvy? Is it wearing a hat? Has it been left out in the sun too long? These are all very important questions. And then you want to know the size. That is important. That is a thing we want to know. But sorry, I think I find that funnier than anybody else. No. I did have a kissing dream recently. Do you guys like, a kissing dream is different than like a sex dream, because you're only like, it's not like you're banging Steve Buscemi, because that'd be a great sex dream. But but no, like, a kissing dream is someone you know. And in this kissing dream, I was helping this guy I know move his shit. Like, I was helping him move. And at the end of the dream, he turned to me. All his stuff was in his new place. He grabbed me by the ass and he pulled me in and he kissed me real hard, real passionate. And I was like, oh, I woke up, I had butterflies in my stomach. And I was like, oh my God, my wildest dreams. I still have to carry motherfucker's baggage before he'll bang me. It's okay. I've got strong legs and a strong back. Guys, I'm Ellie Summerling. Have a great night.
Woo! Thank you so much for going for Ellie Summerling. Ellie, talk to me. Crowd work, hecklers, any of it.
I don't get very many hecklers, but I think that's because of like my particular niche. But I have had a couple. There was some people who were laughing in the front row at Raven one night when I was in the setup. I was like, they're not laughing at me. And I was like, I don't know what you people are laughing at, but I'm taking credit for it. So my technique when dealing with a heckler is to start off aggressive and then make a turn, because I used to substitute teach like all through Camden County, but a lot in Camden high schools. And that technique of starting off aggressive and then undermining it really made the kids like me. So I never had very many problems. So that's kind of, I take the same tact with crowd work.
Awesome.
Like if somebody calls you a bitch, you can be like, excuse me, do not use that language. I am a cunt, okay? Respect that. And it undermines the kid. Like it kind of undermines you, but it undermines the kid way more, and it gets the rest of them laughing. So, I mean, I would absolutely,
It's definitely a great thing to do, is like in crowd work. It's similar to the example that I was giving before, where it's like, well, when somebody laughs at your setup and they're trying to undermine you and you have to call it out, it's like you want to just curse them out, but you're on stage, you're a comedian, so you have to be one step ahead of them and to be like, oh, gotcha, somebody here just laughed at the punchline that I'm gay. This is fun. Who sat Mike Pence at this table? Anyway, sort of just like come up with a quick thing and show them that you're smarter than them, and it'll always shut them up. So yeah, that's great. Awesome. Thank you. Great set too.
Thank you.
So we're just going to do one very quick last thing. I'm going to try and breeze through it because I know we are just towards the end. I just wanted to say that there is a promo code for anybody here, just for anybody here that wants to take the class, that'll get you 10% off. Also, I just want to reiterate, this is a class that I came up with by myself after doing like interactive shows for 11 years. It's not like a regurgitated from any comedy books. I don't know how to read, so I've never done that. It's just literally based off of all of my experiences. And so that's what makes it fun. Okay. So with that, we're just going to do one last really quick thing, and then we have a little bit of a surprise for everybody here. And before I hop into the thing, the last one, Christine, should we cut it over to you, or?
Yeah, I think we're good. We're cutting the last exercise, right? So we're just going to move on to the last part.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, so are we cutting the last? Yeah. You know what? I was going to do one quick,
if there's another,
round.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Let's do it. I think everyone's still up for it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's wanting to do one quick round just to get a good idea. This one, we'll just do one through. It's called Jobs Are Weird. And basically, talking to people about their jobs when they're in the crowd, it's not like the most ideal thing because jobs are actually quite boring, but it's going to happen to you. At some point, you do need to address like people's jobs. Because like for one time I had at a show a group of like 8 people, and they were all clearly like dressed in their work suits, and they were all talking, and they were all friends, and they'd just gotten done with a shift. So I talked to them, and they said they were in sales, and that's a very basic response. And so I said, okay, what do you do in sales? Like, what kind of sales is it? And they said, we market people, so essentially we sell people. And I said, well, that's not a good way to phrase that. And they gave me a lot of good information to work with. So basically, sometimes if you just kind of prod a little bit to tell people to explain their very boring jobs, they're not always explaining it to people. So it might come out wrong, and then you can, or in a silly way, and then you can totally riff off of whatever they just said. So real quick, we'll do this exercise, just one each. Just listen to the things I'm saying and the specific words and see if you could come up with a funny, 1-2 punch quick to get out of there. Okay, Danny, let's start with you again. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so ask me what I do for a living.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a doctor.
That's fantastic. Are you married? I am Jewish.
No, I'm not married.
Well, talk to me later because you're a doctor. I'm Jewish. Let's work this out.
Perfect. Absolutely great. Yeah, you're a doctor. Such a coincidence. You're a doctor. I'm willing to marry six figures. This is so wild. Just say, perfect. Everything you did was perfect. You could even sell it more, like committing, like, oh my God, this is such a coincidence. But great job. Okay, Will, why don't you go and ask me what I do?
What do you do for a living?
I work at a restaurant.
Oh, what do you do there?
I'm the GM.
You're a truck?
No, I'm the general manager.
Oh, so you're not important. I should have tried being the truck.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna say bring it back to your truck line. I would take out the "oh, you're not important" because that'll usually get a "aw." So just take that out and say, when I say no, I'm a general manager, you should say, oh, well, more interesting if you were a truck, and then just take out that middle part. But great job bringing it back to it. That was really funny. Yeah, you just want to try and not be too negative, but you were doing really good with that. Let's go over to Mike Germano.
Hey, yo. So what do you do for a living?
I am a writer.
Oh, yeah? What do you write about?
I write romance novels.
I'm quite the romancer myself. But I don't write about
it. That's good. I'd say just give it one more line. I'm quite the romancer myself, but I don't write about it. I just remember it or something, some quick little out to it's all up here, but that's great. Yeah, that's a really fun. And going off of what Mike just did, it is helpful to ask somebody what, like, a more specific thing about their job. That's what I liked what you did. Like, if somebody says, like, are you like, if I say I'm a doctor, and then somebody says, what kind of doctor? And I say I'm an oral surgeon, then you could say, oh, you were just trying to hide the fact that you're a dentist. That's so, okay, let's move right along. Let's go to Tina. Tina, ask me what I do.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an anesthesiologist.
Really? Have you ever killed anybody?
Not yet.
Me neither. That's great.
That's good. So if you have like a material about killing somebody that you could probably get it into that. For anesthesiologists, there's a lot of different ways. Like when somebody has a specific job, like I was thinking, you could say like, oh, you also get paid to put people to sleep. It could be a self-deprecating thing. You can go that route with it. I like the route that you went with it, where you're like, oh, have you ever killed anybody? Just find out a fun way to like be that. It's like, I was hoping for a cool story or something, but good job. That was great. All right, let's move to Steven. Hey, Steven.
Hey.
Ask me what I do for a living.
So what do you do for a living?
I own properties.
Properties, so that means you're unemployed.
No, I'm a landlord.
You're what?
I'm a landlord.
A what?
A landlord.
A landlord. Oh, so you own people, huh?
Just the spaces they live in.
All right. Well, what do you charge for a good apartment?
$1,500.
Oh, you're not a landlord. You're a slumlord.
Yeah, I was thinking you could get to that slumlord thing a little bit sooner. You want to try and keep these like very like, you only have like 2 interactions with me at 2 to 3, and then you kind of get out of there. So if somebody says I own properties, it's kind of a vague thing. Like landlord is specific. Owning properties, I would just be like, oh, I didn't know that owning something was a job. Like I own a few bottles of vodka and a couple of bongs. That's not my job. So yeah, just like I know what you were going for, but if you listen to how I said it, I kind of said it weird. I described my job weird. So that's always something you want to pay attention to. But great job. I love the back and forth. Who else do we have? Did everybody go? Oh, Dave Scott.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. What in the world does that mean?
It just means that I have money in a lot of different places. I have a couple of startups, and
I understand completely. I have money a lot of different places as well. There's a changed bottle on my drawer on my cabinet. Got some in my wallet. We're very similar in that regard.
Perfect. I'd say what you did was perfect. I would just change your last line from "we're very similar." I would change it to "turns out I'm also an entrepreneur." I have change on my cupboard and my dresser. It turns out I do what you do. That's perfect. So yeah, jobs are weird. Just always try and listen to how people describe their jobs, because even if you know what they're talking about, the way that they say it might be open to you to rib on a little bit. And a big part of crowd work is just listening very carefully. So I think I'm going to take it over to Christine. Christine, why don't you tell us, give us some send-off announcements?
Yeah, definitely. And I still think we have some surprise guests here. Maybe, I don't know. We might have a little show after this, but yes, I put the promo code in there. Dan's class, like I said, 4 weeks. You got just a little piece of this. We're also offering 201 classes. One is taught by Dan. Another is taught by Latisse, another pretty established comic here in Philly. So if you liked this, clearly it's not the same as in person, but it's pretty interactive, and you can see Dan does a great job managing the room and kind of making sure everyone gets a turn. So if you're interested, just message back to the off mic message where we sent you the Zoom link, and yeah, you can go from there. Thank you all for participating. And then Dan,
I guess that must be the end if there's nothing else here, although that must just be it. There's no way there's possibly a surprise coming along.
Oh God, you're so funny.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. Who are you, sir?
Oh, my name's Rick.
Oh, Rick. Okay, Rick. You were just interrupting my very funny comedy set I was doing.
Sorry, I've been drinking since like 11:30.
Is that 11:30 a.m. or is that 11:30 p.m. yesterday?
11:30 a.m. College game day, man.
Is this virtual college game day? I hope we're at your Temple University.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go to college, but I love football.
You're in it for the game days. Excellent. Well, it looks like we've got a drunk heckler here. Oh boy. So that's just one of. Are there any other hecklers here that I need to know about?
Woo! Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Who are you?
Hi, you're so funny. You're killing me. Everything you're saying, you're just so relatable.
Thank you. I actually love these jokes too, so we can agree on that.
Yeah, you're so good. You remind me of my son. I love him. You're so great.
That's such a coincidence. I hate your son. Okay. That is so wild. But okay, that's cool. So well, I see you're clearly agreeing with everything. Before I unleash these hecklers onto the crowd, I feel like there might even be one more.
Woo!
Oh,
yes,
God.
bitch. There is.
Another heckler. Oh, wow. Okay. And I'm sorry, who are you?
Bitch, I'm getting married tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh.
You should come date one of my girls. Look at these beautiful bridesmaids behind me. Oh my gosh. Woo! We're having so much fun. Thank you.
This is your last night of freedom before you make the biggest mistake of your life. Thank you for coming to my show and making a completely separate
mistake.
mistake.
Has a big dick. So on that, is your dick that big? Is your dick big?
Yes, actually, my dick is very similar to the Leaning Tower of Pisa that we saw earlier today. It's big, but it's broken. Okay, well, it seems like we have 3 hecklers here, so why don't we go ahead and like unleash them onto for our final send-off, unleash them onto our unknowing contestants. I want to say participants would be better. Danny, why don't you go ahead and why don't you talk to our bachelorette?
So what does your wedding dress look like?
Oh my God, it's white.
Why?
It's so floofy. It's a floofy dress. I love it.
But it's white.
And
Oh,
floofy.
you're going for irony.
Love irony. It's so much better than originality, you know. Okay, Will, why don't you talk to the drunk guy who's been drinking since 11:30 a.m.?
All right. They've been drinking since 11:30.
Yeah, man.
You just been sipping the one that long, you lightweight?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want one? I got some more. Do you want one?
Oh no, I have to go home after this. My family still loves me.
but you do you. You know what? We're not shaming anybody who's hated by all of their family and extended family. No shame. Dave Scott, why don't you go ahead and talk to the audience member that keeps agreeing with everything? I think you're on mute.
Where's the audience member?
That would be, I believe her name is Claire Alexander, but for this case, she is an audience
There you
member.
are. Hello.
Yes, I am.
How are you this evening?
I am just fantastic. Oh my God, this is a great show. I love all of you.
Oh, we love having you here. We love enthusiastic audience members. Perhaps you could the best person sitting next to you. He's sitting there like a lump. So give him an elbow, would you? Give him a shot. There you go. There, baby. Now we're talking. See, people, you can learn from this audience member. Be like this.
Worship her. Funny. She is an icon. Iconic audience status. Perfect. Loved it. Tina, why don't you go ahead and talk to the Bachelorette?
Oh, what's up, girl? I really love this streak you have, the highlight you have right there.
Thank you. I told my fiance I was going to keep it for the wedding so that he could pretend I'm rogue on the wedding night. We're going to have such freaky X-Men sex.
Ooh.
Girl,
you know,
Wolverine.
Most people I feel like get dye job before their wedding, but I think that the gray is really becoming of you. And I love
you so much. Can I follow you on Instagram? Are you a model?
What I did before my wedding. What I did before my wedding was instead of dyeing my hair, I just cheated for a year. But that's fun too. Everybody has a tradition. Okay, moving right along to Mike. Sorry, let's go to Steve. Steve Devery, why don't you go ahead and you talk to the drunkle, Ben Drunkle.
Go ahead,
What's up, man?
Hey, I love your hat. You steal that?
Yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Yeah, they win this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did. Good playing there. Didn't play much of a team, but hey, what the heck?
Hey, it wasn't pretty, but a win's a win, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Hey, can you go get me a beer?
Yeah, man.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Can you get a full one?
I only got 3 more.
Okay, not halves. I want a full one.
Oh, yeah, I can't help you.
Oh, man. I'm buying one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Never has crowd work been so exclusionary of gay people. I I have no idea what code you guys just talked in, but I'm assuming it's not for me. Cool. Mike Germano, go ahead and talk to the audience member that just keeps agreeing with everything.
Hey, lady, you having a good time?
Oh my God, this is the best night of my life.
Oh my God, me too. What was your favorite part?
Oh my God, just that time when ever since you got on the stage, you're just cracking me up.
Yeah. It's good stage.
Yeah, it's a great. I love this place. This is a great
It's the
place.
best stage.
Yes, the best stage I've ever seen in my life.
I know. I just want to bring the stage home with me.
That's a lucky stage.
Absolutely. Some people fuck the stool, but Mike is in it for the stage. And last but not least, we have David Habel. David Habel, why don't you go ahead and talk to this bachelorette party?
Woo!
Well, you look like you're having fun tonight.
Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. Listen, if you're up for it, it's my last night of freedom, Mike.
Let's see if you can stay for my jokes first.
It's also my last night of freedom. I'm killing myself after my set. That was so great. I loved everything that just happened. We are completely out of time, but if you take my class or if you want to spread the word to other people who think that they might want to do this, I promise you it's going to be so much fun. It'll be stuff like this, and I'll have more time to give feedback and, go over everything. But I really want to thank everybody that joined us here. I want to thank our comics, Ben, Claire, and Ellie, for doing more than just stand up, but taking on these amazing characters. Thank you so much. I will have Christine send us out.
That was amazing.
Woo!
Thank you so much, everyone, for committing an hour and a half of your time and more for the folks that were part of this. Thanks again, Ellie, Claire, Ben, for just taking on a persona and running with it. And yeah, take Dan's class or any of the other classes. And if you're not from Philly, even special thanks because you found us just on social media and trusted us to come, and hopefully you had a good time. So yeah, let us know, message us if you want information about the class. Otherwise, hope to see you on Zoom again. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Bye.
Find out more about classes, go to offmiccomedyschool.com. Use that promotional code Philly10 for 10% off your class fee, and we'll see you in class. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Girl, bye.